Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning. Our Srimad Bhagavatam class every Friday and attentive japa. We'll make a start and we'll continue our discussion. And so we're talking about today punishment and reward of Kali. And last time we finished the class on how Maharaj Parikshit was very capable, was going to kill Kali for his misbehavior, and then he was left at a you get these dramas. He's left at a very critical point that he was just about to get his head chopped off, and then today we find out what happened next. So today we discover that somehow or other Kali managed to escape the sharp sword of Maharaj Parikshit. And so how does he escape this? Let's do a prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Karoti Vachanam Pangum Nandate Girim Yat Kirpatavam Bande Shri Guru Deen Dharanam Param Ananda Padmam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat. Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatujayam Udiriyat Nastam Preshu Padareshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhakti Nistiki. So the very day and moment the personality Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, left this earth, the personality of Kali, who promotes all kinds of religious activities, came into this world. As we were saying that while Lord Krishna is here, Kali can't enter this world. So when Lord Krishna left, he was ready to enter, and he did. And the person of Godhead and his holy name, quality, etc., all identical. This Prabhupada says that the personality of Kali was not able to enter the jurisdiction of the earth due to the presence of the personality of Godhead. And similarly, if there is an arrangement for the constant chanting of the holy names and quality, etc., of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no chance at all for the personality of Kali to enter. So we are chanting and glorifying the Lord, Kali cannot affect us, in other words. That is a technique of driving away the personality of Kali from the world and from our lives. If the state arranges to distribute transcendental sound by resounding the holy name, fame and activities of the Lord as they are authorized in the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then a favorable condition will be created. The principles of religion in the world will be re-established, and thus the executive heads who are so anxious to drive away corruption from the world will be successful. Nothing is bad if properly used for the service of the Lord. That's it. So as long as the great powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of the world, there is no chance that personality of Kali will flourish. So although Kali has entered this world, but he can't flourish because we still got Maharaj Parikshit who can stop him from flourishing. He can enter, but he can't act. The personality of Kali had entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago, and he was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world. But he couldn't do so satisfactorily due to the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. So when the personality of Kali understood that the king was willing to kill him, He at once abandoned the dress of a king and, under pressure of fear, completely surrendered to him, bowing his head. So, to protect himself, he surrendered to Maharaj Parikshit. Because Maharaj Parikshit, who was qualified to accept surrender and worthy of being sung in history, did not kill the poor, surrendered and fallen Kali, but smiled compassionately, for he was kind to the poor. So, if you have declared that you completely surrender, that you accept the authority of Maharaj Parikshit, then he would not kill you. Even an ordinary Kshatriya doesn't kill a surrendered person. And what to speak of Maharaj Parikshit, who was by nature compassionate and kind to the poor. He was smiling because the artificially dressed Kali had disclosed his identity as a lower class man. And he was thinking how ironic it was that although no one was saved from his sharp sword when he desired to kill, the poor lower class Kali was spared by his timely surrender. Maharaj Parikshit's glory and kindness are therefore sung in history. He was a kind and compassionate emperor, fully worthy of accepting surrender even from his enemy. Thus the personality Kali was saved by the will of providence. The king thus said, "We have inherited the fame of Arjun. Therefore, since you have surrendered yourself with folded hands, you need not fear for your life. But you cannot remain in my kingdom, for you are the friend of religion. O your majesty, though I may live anywhere and everywhere under your order, I shall but see you with bow and arrows wherever I look." So Srila Prabhupada reminds us that the person of Kali could see that Maharaj Parikshit was the emperor for all lands, all over the world, and thus anywhere he might live, he would have to meet with the same mood of the king. Because that was the rule, that was the law. The personality of Kali was meant for mischief, and Maharaj Parikshit was meant for subduing all kinds of mischief mongers, especially the personality of Kali. It was better, therefore, for the personality of Kali to have been killed by the king then and there, instead of being killed elsewhere. He was, after all, surrendered soul before the king, and it was for the king to do what was required. So it was very clear to all the leaders of Maharaj Parikshit's kingdoms that that Kali should not be allowed to reside anywhere. So they would follow the same mood as Maharaj Parikshit. And Kali is thinking, well, it's better if Maharaj Parikshit killed me rather than one of the other kings in the other kingdoms that still belong to Maharaj Parikshit. Therefore, O chief amongst the protectors of religion, please fix some place for me where I can live permanently under the protection of your government. So Suta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution and animal slaughter were performed. But although Maharaj Parikshit gave Kali permission to live in 4 places, it was very difficult for him to find the places, because during the reign of Maharaj Parikshit, there were no such places. So Maharaj Parikshit tried to trick him, but therefore Kali asked the king to give him something practical which could be utilized for his nefarious purposes. Because the Kali has a duty to do as well. He wants to do his job, and the places Maharaj Parikshit was suggesting didn't exist. So Maharaj Parikshit thus gave him permission to live in a place where there is gold. So that was the 5th option. Because wherever there is gold, there are all the above mentioned 4 things as well. Gambling, drinking, prostitution and animal slaughter. Because wherever and over above there is enmity also. So the personal Kali became gold standardized. Thus he re-established the lost legs of the personality religion and improved the condition of the earth by encouraging activities. So Kali was pushed away. He had a stable place and he couldn't influence everywhere. So this way the religion could flourish. Now Maharaj Parikshit was a realist, like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower. He knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render the effects. So he was never envious of personality of Kali. So in the Kali Yuga, if you think something bad, you don't get a reaction. But if you think something good, that is in your favor, according to this. So the age of Kali is called the fallen age. In this fallen age, because the living beings are in an awkward position, the Supreme Lord has given some special facilities to them. So by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of a sinful act until the act is actually performed. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. So how dangerous that was in the previous yugas, that you only have to think of something bad and you become a victim, you get a reaction. On the contrary, a living being in this age is a worthy of the results of pious acts simply by thinking of them. Maharaj Parikshit, being the most learned and experienced king by the grace of the Lord, was not unnecessarily envious of the personality of Kali, because he didn't intend to give him any chance to perform any sinful act. He protected his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of the age of Kali. And at the same time, he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him some particular places. At the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that even though all nefarious activities of personal Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. The Maharaj Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. So it is for this advantage only that great sages sometimes wish all good for the age of Kali, because it makes it very easy for us to get out of his clutches and get God realization in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the holy name. In the Vedas also it is said that by discourse on Lord Krishna's activities one can get rid of all the disadvantages of the age of Kali. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam it is also said that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within one's heart. These are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit took all the advantage of and did not think any ill of the age of Kali, true to his Vaishnavite cult. So Maharaj Parikshit considered that less intelligent men might find the personal Kali to be very powerful. So even though it was so easy, even but the less intelligent will still not take up the chanting of the holy name, and the personal Kali would dominate them. But those who are self-controlled would have nothing to fear. The king was powerful like a tiger and took care for the foolish, careless persons. Those who are not devotees of the Lord are careless and unintelligent. Unless one is thoroughly intelligent, one cannot be devotee of the Lord. Those who are not devotees of the Lord fall prey to the actions of Kali. It will not be possible to bring about a saner condition in society unless we are prepared to accept the modes of action adopted by Maharaj Parikshit. Propagation of the devotional service of the Lord to the common man. So it's really simple, but if you're not intelligent, you're not even prepared to try or take this on. So easy to protect yourself from Kali, but a lot of people don't care, they're careless. So what are the flows of Kali? So we just begun the performance of, so now we're just talking about the sacrificial fire that the sages were doing. I think it was like 1,000 years yajna to reduce the effects of Kali. And it's mentioned that we have just begun the performance of this fruity activity, a sacrificial fire without certainty of its result due to the many imperfections in our action. Our bodies have become black from the smoke, but we are factually pleased by the nectar of the lotus feet of the personal Godhead, Govinda, which you are distributing. So Kali got saved, and he was told that he can go and reside in gold and all the other 4 places that we mentioned. And now the sages are also trying to help the civilization, protect them from Kali. And they are doing yajna in the Nemish Sharanaya forest. But there is a slight problem. Due to Kali, the sacrificial fire kindled by the sages of Nemi Sharna was certainly full of smoke and doubts because of so many flaws. The age of Kali. The first flaw is that there is an acute scarcity of expert Brahmins in Kali Yuga, able to carry out such performances successfully in this age of Kali. Any discrepancies in such sacrifices spoils the whole show, and the result is uncertain, like agriculture enterprises. The good result of tilling the paddy field depends on providential rain, and therefore the result is uncertain. Similarly, performance of any kind of sacrifice in this age of Kali is also uncertain. Unscrupulous, greedy Brahmins of the age of Kali induce the innocent public to such uncertain sacrificial shows without disclosing the scriptural injunction that in the age of Kali there is no fruitful sacrificial performance but the sacrifice of the congregation chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So you don't really need all those performances, I guess. Just simply by chanting in a congregation together, you can produce the same effect, and it's so easy to do as well. You don't need special mantras. Sutta Goswami was narrating the transcendental activity of the Lord before the congregation of sages, and they were factually perceiving the result of hearing these transcendental activities. One can feel this practically as one can feel the result of eating food. Spiritual realization acts in that way. The sages of Naimisharana were practically sufferers from the smoke of a sacrificial fire and were doubtful about the result. But by hearing from a realized person like Sutta Goswami, they were fully satisfied. In the Brahma Vaivarat Puran, Vishnu tells Shiva that in the age of Kali, men full of anxieties of various kinds can vainly labor in fruitive activities and philosophical speculations, but when they are engaged in devotional service, the result is sure and certain, and there is no loss of energy. In other words, nothing performed for spiritual realization or for material benefit can be successful without the devotional service to the Lord. So everything we do has to be directed towards Krishna, towards God. Otherwise, it's fruitless. It's waste of time. Even if you are looking for the fruit, then it just works against you because you just get more attached to bind yourself to this material world. So it's very dangerous. So this is the age of Kali, and there's some advantages, actually a lot of advantages, but these advantages are only good if we use them for our purpose. If we don't use them, then they're wasted, waste our time, energy, and this human life. So very important to. This is why knowledge is very important, because we should know what the advantages are, and we should know how to take advantage of the advantages, isn't it? And so it's so nice of you all to join me today and discuss this. I just want to quickly welcome you all. Prem Prakash Prabhu, Rukmani Mataji, iPhone, secret listener, don't know who you are. Jay Prabhu, Praveen Mataji, Sarveshya Mataji, and Venkat Prabhu. Thank you all for joining, and please share something. We'll start with Venkat. We'll start with you, Venkat Prabhu. Sometimes you have to go, so maybe you would like to start and just if you like to say a few words, it's up to you. Hari Bol Prabhu. Okay, maybe you're not able to speak because you're probably.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, taking time to unmute. Thanks for your service, Prabhu. Basically, I had one question when I read this in the Bhagavatam, right? So, Parishit Maharaj said to Kali not to enter where that illicit sex, drinking, lying, all those things.
yeah,
So basically, if you look these Western countries, right, it's a full of like alcohol, the betting, and everything, right? There's no kind of a mercy as well. So when we see in India, we still have them as well, but we have more chanting in India, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, So India has a more chanting than other countries. But why we struggle so much in India compared to the Western countries? Like here, if we take right, the government, at least for the common people, that things work nice. We don't need to worry about it. Let's say I have to go and get something from government. There is a process. If I take an example of buying a house, right? It was very easy for me buying a house in this country. But if I have to buy a house in India, it's so much of headache with the brokerage, cheating, all those things. So how do we take this?
So you're saying that, are you talking about corruption?
Sorry, it was a question, Prabhu.
Yeah, are you talking about corruption in India?
Yeah, it's a corruption and the people cheat so much, right? As I take an example, to buy a house, I have to go to brokerage and they will increase the price than what is in the market. They take that opportunity everywhere.
Sure. I mean, like I said, the advantages are there. It's up to the people to take advantage. I mean, we are all living in the three modes of nature. So you have like three choices. Which mode you want to choose? Whether you're in India or anywhere else, they're the three modes acting upon us, and we have the option. Like we have chosen the option here to live in the mode of goodness by following these regulations. So the modes are acting all over the material universe and universes. So those people, even though the advantage of Kali are there, they're not taking advantage. They prefer to work in the mode of passion and ignorance, right? This is the problem. God gives us our free will, and how you use that free will is up to you. And most people tend to use it in the mode of passion and ignorance. And if you are fortunate, you'll get the opportunity to use it in the mode of goodness. And the other thing, especially with India and other countries, is poverty is also a problem. I mean, these countries are very rich. America, Europe, everybody has enough resources, so they don't need to cheat, or corruption isn't so it's so obvious. Also, the laws of those countries are not very strong. Even the lawmakers are corrupt. So what to say about the other people? Here in these countries, the laws are a lot more stringent, they're very tighter, and there's always somebody watching. And if you get caught, you have to pay a hefty punishment. You get punished severely. Whereas in India or some of the other countries, you get away because the lawmakers, you just pay off so many people. Everybody easily bribed. And this is the problem. I mean, if you talk about like in business terms, a lot of companies are afraid to deal in countries like India and other places where the law is not that strong, that they can't hold on to the patents. They are easily copied, things like that. This is the situation. So everything is all depends on the government, Prabhu. How strong they are. So it's like Maharaj Pikshit. He was the government. He was strong, and his law followed all the way around the world. That was written in stone that this is the law. There'll be no prostitution, no gambling, no intoxication, right? That was the law. There's no meat eating. So it all depends on the government as well. If the government can be easily bribed, so what to say about the other people? Does that make sense, Prabhu?
He's traveling. He's not there now.
Okay, I can see. Prabhu, are you able to unmute?
Sorry, Prabhu, I went on the mute. Yeah, that makes sense, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Very well.
Was that your question?
Yeah.
So it's partly poverty, it's the government, and also free will, how we choose to live. So there's various issues, Prabhu, here. And
That's okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, Jay, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Well, the primary duty of a king at that time was to protect law-abiding citizens and to chastise those who deviated from the scriptures. I mean, those who killed innocent animals were punishable by death penalty. But because Kali surrendered immediately and due to the compassionate nature, Maharaj Parikshit spared his life. I don't know whether it's due to Vedic law or custom. No, they were punishable by death. Anyway, Kali was given permission to reside in places where there's gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. And because of his persistent begging, he would get to stay in places where there's gold. So, I mean, I'm not sure it's a good idea to have a jeweler shop, and how many jewelers shop know this anyway? Kali could not remain in places where sacrifices were being performed for the satisfaction of the Lord. And I said last week, anyone who takes protection of the Lord cannot be influenced Kali. So in Kali, just by chanting, one can achieve salvation, which I don't think he didn't have the periods. Yeah, so that's it really. I mean, Canto 12 tells you some of the symptoms of Kali. I mean, in the Kali Yuga, memory and physical strength will diminish, duration of life will diminish, the path of the Vedas will be, completely forgotten. Wealth alone will be the factor by which a person will be judged, and filling a belly will become the goal of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Rohi. Thank you so much. Rukmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Main thing is it is very difficult of this three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So it's for in Kali Yuga it's very difficult to stay in a spiritual path, and there are so many obstruction. But Srila Prabhupada has made it very easy, our life. Just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Don't worry about any yuga, Satyuga, Kali Yuga, any yuga. So that is the best part of our life, that we are in a Krishna consciousness, which Srila Prabhupada has taught us so many things. So we don't have to worry about any mode of nature. And we can, if we tried it hardly, we can stay in goodness, mode of goodness. So we are lucky that we are in safe hands. Thanks a lot to Krishna consciousness and our Srila Prabhupada and our new tutors. All they are teaching us and giving us the lessons. So we are very lucky. So from our side, we are not in a Kali Yuga, we are in a Satyuga.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, it is difficult. Like in the Sunday program, I will say to the brahmacharis to come on, and our sannyasis, they obviously think that their life is a lot more difficult. But I see everybody thinks their life is more difficult, and I say the Grihastha's life is more difficult, because we have to live we have to live as a Satyug person in the Kali Yuga, right? We are living amongst people, we are associating with people who are living in a mode of passion and mode of ignorance. We are dealing with them all the time. Whereas sometimes I feel that the brahmacharis in the temple and sannyasis can protect themselves. They have a bit more protection than we do. But they tend to think now that their situation is more difficult because they don't get enough association, or people burden them with their problems, and they have their own issues. So everybody has issues, but from a Grihastha point of view, it is very difficult to fall down if we're not careful, if we don't keep the knowledge in our heads all the time, and if we don't do a sadhana properly all the time, if we don't chant properly all the time, it's very, very easy to fall down, because the temptations are all around us all the time. And unless we are shielded, we have our shield guards on, very easy to fall down. This is what I personally experience and believe, that because we have to go out in the world all every day, whereas the sannyasis and the brahmacharis, they are protected by the temple itself, and they have more opportunity to do bhakti, and they don't have to go into the the scary world like we have to to protect themselves. They can protect themselves. People come to them. They don't have to go out to people.
Our lives are like lotus.
Our lives, yeah.
Lotus Ilmadi.
Yeah, another one says that our lives are like lotus. We want to be lotus, but we have to live in the mud. This is, so to speak. So we have to stay clean in the mud, like a lotus. Thank you so much. And we have Prem Prakash Prabhu. Would you like to add something, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sorry, Prabhuji, I couldn't join earlier, and today was a bit busy as well. But overall discussion with Kali Yuga is that, I mean, the perception, what we actually, there are a lot many things happens around the world, but the perception is something what we live with, which I would like to contribute from my understanding is that we have a perception, and when Parikshit Maharaj actually was magnanimous and allowed Kali to still be protected under his reign, but he thought that the area he's allocating for his residence is not there in his kingdom. So, I mean, even though he was allocated a place, but he was not supposed to. I mean, he wouldn't actually flourish at that time when Parikshit Maharaj was there. But later on, the perception actually changed, and the fall down actually went through, and then many places. I mean, these places exponentially added in 5,000 years. We have so much degraded in last 5,000 years from our practice that it's one of the reason when Advaita Acharya thought that the decline is so much in 5,000 years is that it's time for Mahaprabhu to appear and inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. So now we are fortunate we are here, but the perception also changes basically for the people, sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. When even though sheltered Kali Yuga was able to expand, it was not the perception at that time when he was allocated the space to stay at the three places, gold, slaughterhouse, and I mean the places of intoxication. Now you see these places basically, I mean, apart from devotees, are there in every household. If we actually notice that every household have these space, and the only thing that we can rely on is a Sankirtan movement that is inaugurated by Mahaprabhu. The things has changed so much. I mean, things have changed for bad from Kali's perspective, but the things are changing so much from the Mahamantra as well. So that's what I would like to contribute. I don't know whether it's very relevant to the point, but yeah, that's what I thought about. Very well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, wonderful points. I mean, you're so right about the houses. I know that any house if you go to before joining Krishna consciousness, if they had their own personal bar in the house, they would like to have a side bar with all the different drinks, and sometimes they got like the meat measuring thing. Wow, you think, wow, these guys are really up to date and they're rich because they have their own bar and such a selection of drinks. Right? So this is how opulence is seen nowadays, and it's quite normal thing. It's celebrated, isn't it? And if they have made various meats, it's celebrated. Wow, that they had so many different varieties of meat. When traveling on a plane, if they offer you so much choice of meat, you think, wow, this is brilliant. Right? This is the perception nowadays. Wherever Kali resides, is seen as a good thing. If a casino opens nearby, it's seen as a good thing. Oh, this is like massive casino just opened. So what do you do? You know, this is celebrated. Everything that Kali represents is nowadays celebrated. The great Las Vegas is celebrated. All these things are there. This is the page, like you say, it's 5,000 years later. Everything is upside down now. You know, when Maharaj Dikshit gone, everything what he represented is now the opposite represented with the new leaders and governments. And this is a Prabhupada's issue with the governments, that they have what, you know, how what their mentality is. This is what they promote. So thank you. Prabhu, you want to unmute?
Haribo Prabhuji. So and just to add perception and where we are heading at the moment is example of Russia. Communist is something which is coming up. China and Russia, what we see basically, Russia specifically, they're trying to ban Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I don't know how the things is going through. They are trying to heavily impact Sankirtan movement there. So see how the things are turning up if we are not actually strong enough to propagate Sankirtan movement, which actually we are doing by the grace of Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu basically. See where we are heading. It's just a trailer what we are seeing at the moment, where the world is going to turn, what world is going to turn into. And said that after 10,000 years, there's no sign of religiosity will be there at all. So we are living in a golden period basically, still by the grace of Mahaprabhu. So we need to start changing the perception of people as well. Let's see.
Absolutely. I mean, if you go back 50 years or 100 years, you can see how much has changed. And this is the golden period. Okay, still the Kali is taking his influence on us. Just imagine when the gold, like you say, when the golden period is over, how quickly it will degrade after that.
Right.
You know, hard to imagine. Don't want to imagine, you know, how badly it will be.
And said that holy rivers will dry up. There's no holy rivers. There are no scriptures to understand, read, and all those things. We are so opulent with Srimad Bhagavatam ji over here, and we are able to read from there every Friday morning, and whatever time we do in Nitya Sadhana. I mean, and how compassionate the sages of Naimisharanya were there when they realized there's nothing trace of Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to be, and they were, and because of their desire, basically, again, Srimad Bhagavatam ji was retold by Sutta Goswami. Otherwise, I'm just we can't really imagine where we are, what would happen. It would happen. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Praveen Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm not feeling too good today, and this topic is just making my head go, more fuzzy. Yeah, all I say is like we are very, very fortunate, we've got like Sri Prabhupada who's given us this direction, because without that I was like feeling why I am different from other people, because I could not find people like me. Even like in my husband's family, they were all eating, drinking, and we were the odd ones out. So we couldn't make friends because everybody you go to, oh yeah, everybody drinks here, which I strongly felt against. And then finding Krishna consciousness and thought, no, there are people like that. So what's coming to my head is like, yeah, we've been against all these like gambling, prostitution, and drinking, meat eating. So why we are here in Kali Yuga then, because we were strongly like that from beginning. So I feel like we are like Mataji was saying, like lotus flower in the bud, and to my head was coming like we are the tongue in between the teeth, So we are living in between all these people. So wherever you go, the culture is so bad. Like even many years ago, we went to about 30 years, and my husband's cousins, because they thought I've come from England. So, Pabiji, Desi Ande, they are very nice. And I used to look at them like, I said, no, we don't eat eggs. We don't eat this, And now, I don't know, but one of my uncles in India, because we had at least like onions, my mother used to put onions, but garlic I never used to, let my mom put, oh no, it smells. But my uncle was like, he wouldn't have any onions or anything. So they used to say, oh, he's Vaishnav, you know. So there were people, and but I don't know why we started. But then I keep talking to my mother-in-law here, and I always say, Mom, don't put onions if you want to, you know, invite us for dinner, so we won't eat otherwise. And she then always tells me, yeah, in our family nobody used to eat, but then everybody started eating. So is that the like the influence because of Kali Yuga, you know, why people changed the way, or is it like the modes, you know?
Yeah, I mean the modes were always there. Now the passion and ignorance is more prevalent. It's more
Yeah,
stronger, and is peer pressure as well. You know, it's association.
Choices.
You know,
yeah,
but whatever is there, everybody else is
mm,
doing. You start doing the same thing. It's the example of the bar, having a bar in the house. You know, everybody wanting
yeah,
a bar in their house because they see
yes,
other
yeah,
people do it. So sometimes we just follow. You know, human being, we like sheep. Whatever is the
yeah,
passion, we do it, but sometimes without even thinking about it,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good or bad.
Because I was discussing with my husband only yesterday. I said, well, I'm glad, you know, we've been, because I always feel like we are not very strong. But then I said to him yesterday, I said, so that means we are strong because we didn't follow other people. We always, we have our firm beliefs, what we think, you know, like my children, they went to university. And like when, like people were introducing girls for my son, and they'll say, oh, yeah, she was vegetarian, but then she started eating when she went. Oh, she only eats fish. And I said, well, that's the you know, probably all meat smell, I don't know. But I said, how can, like, my children went and they never started eating, and like two daughters, they're doctors, and you can understand the schedule of, you know, long days, and they'll still prepare their salads, prepare their fruit, you know. So in a way, so probably, you know, not probably, but Krishna's been very merciful to us. So, you know, he protected us. So, so I don't know, but I just feel like why we are trapped in this world, you know.
Sure.
So I don't know. I'm just feeling more ill now. I don't know. My head's not right.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Prabji.
Sureshi Mataji. Think I need to unmute Mataji.
Sorry. In Kali Yuga, most of the people, they don't follow religion, just like they live like animal life, eat in the morning, they get up, they go to eat, sleep, defend, and have children. And they have no mercy, thoughtfulness, cleanliness, anything like that. And when we have this, all these qualities, then we can't have bhakti. We can't have bhakti if you eat meat, if you intoxication, gambling or illicit, you can't have bhakti. So that's why very, very difficult to people to do bhakti because they always have all these things. And we are very lucky to born in this Kali Yuga, because in this Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and he gave us this Maha Mantra. So we what that one got reward of Kali Yuga. And then in Bhagavatam, Sukdev Goswami tells Raja Parikshit, Kaler dosh nide Rajan akti ek mahaguna Krishnad ek Krishna se mukta sangha param bhaje. Kali got lot of faults, but there is one good quality, and that quality is Harinam. And man can get delivered with this Harinam and devotional service. And same thing, it's written in Ramcharitmanas, that Ramayana. I don't know how many people have read that. Mostly people read Valmiki Ramayana. But it's very nice. It's like a poetic, and it says, I mean, those who know Hindi can understand. Kaliyug taran upay na koi, Ram bhajan Ramayan doi. It's very simple Hindi. In Kali Yuga, there are no way of deliverance except Harinam or Lord Ram's name or Lord Krishna's name or Ramayana or Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. And so this Harinam and devotionalist service is so powerful that we can get the same benefit as Satyug by meditating, Treta by Yajna, and Vapar by Mandir Puja, and in Kalyug by Sankirta Yajna. That is Mahaprabhu. And we were so lucky, we born in it, Kalyug, and prior to this Kalyug, Krishna came in Dwapar. So we got Bhagavatam, we got Harinam, we are mostly lucky. I know this is a very fallen age, but we can get out of it. We can be delivered. That's a very easy way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, wonderful.
The tools are there for us.
Okay, so next Friday, we're going to be, Maharaj Parikshit actually gets cursed. So he's going to get cursed and die in 7 days. So he's cursed by the Brahmin boy. So we'll discuss that next week. And this Sunday, there's more Srimad Bhagavatam with the Arjun Sakha, the demon Vritrasur. So we'll hear about the demon Vritrasur from Arjun Sakha Prabhu. So if you have any questions, please have them ready. You can ask Prabhu on Sunday.
Prabhuji, I've got a quick question. You don't have to answer, but like now, just now, Ram Navami happened, and then we were listening to like story of Ahilya, and then like Lord Indra did something wrong, and then why like their demigod, they were still doing wrong things in those times. It wasn't even Kali Yuga then. So why these things were happening? Because there's so many stories like Indra, he's done so many wrong things.
Yeah, Indra is not. I mean, Indra, he does wrong things, but he also has a very, very high position, a very important task. And a lot of these are, you could say, pastimes really, because Krishna deludes Indra, Krishna deludes Brahma, Krishna deludes Shiva. He can delude anybody. You know, this is the thing. They are demigods, and it's usually Krishna playing tricks on them because he wants to teach us something. You know, this is why we have Srimad Bhagavatam. We learn from that. Is Krishna's arrangements to, I mean, like with Brahma chasing his daughter or Shiva chasing Mohini. You know, you wouldn't expect such exalted personalities to be doing those things. It's Lord Krishna's mercy on them and on us as well to teach us something, Mataji.
Yeah, because then you find it embarrassing, like other religion people, they pick on that, or even like, then I always say, like, how then other people are supposed to act, because they'll say, oh, he did it, that it must be all right, you know. So it
No,
does make you think, yeah.
no, that's not how we should think that. We should think that how strong Maya is, that if it can affect them, if it can affect us,
There's the
a
lesson.
lot easily. So this is why we need to chant and protect ourselves from Kali Yuga, protect ourselves from Maya. That's the lesson.
No, but people with less intelligence, so people who are into drinking and everything, so they'll think, oh, you know, they only see one side, they don't look, you know, the reason. So then, so I always think, so maybe that's why people been doing all this sort of things, you know.
Yeah, well, that's the less
So,
intelligent people.
yeah,
Less intelligent people will always find an excuse or a reason to do less intelligent things. This is a Prabhupada always says that they will always have a reason. Especially with Lord Krishna, they have a problem. Say, if he can do this, we can. We think we are God, but we're not God. We're little specks. Right? So it's when we start comparing ourselves to God that is the biggest sin we can do. This is the biggest offense. This is the problem with the world, or with the jiva. When the jiva starts thinking that he's the Lord and proprietor of everything, and this is why we're still here, stuck on this in this material world, because we're envious of Krishna. We think, well, if he can do it, we can do it. It's the envy that binds us to this material world. So this is what we're learning now. This is because those things come automatically to us. You know, this we and those modes, they come automatic to us that, oh, if we can do this, we can do this. You know, it's okay to do this. It's okay to do this. But this is why we are learning Bhagavatam. We're learning Gita life, so we can understand what is right and wrong, because we don't know what is right and wrong.
No, like we understand, but like I'm talking about like other people, you know, like people who are like in mode of ignorance, because like my sister-in-law, because she's meat eater and this and that, she always used to argue and they say, oh, what did Lord Rama eat? They must have eaten meat when they went to. I said, no, they didn't eat meat. So people like them, so they always have things to say back.
So
So
yeah, as long as she says Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, at least she's mentioned the names. We need causeless mercy to,
yeah.
to Krishna, and it will happen one day. So sometimes you just have to go through the process. You see, they have to go through the process, and one day the penny will drop. So, oh, actually, it's like this. Like sometimes, someday, maybe you leave a Gita near them or leave in the house. They might sit in there and they start reading it, and you'll just totally change their perception. It's all about perception, isn't it? You think, oh my God, what have I been thinking? What have I been doing? I mean, we all the same. But
Yes.
we've been there as well. And when you read the Prabhupada's books, totally opens your eyes. Om Gyanti Gyananjala Shalakya. You open your eyes, with the torchlight of knowledge of the spiritual master. This is why it's there. It just takes us out of the darkness and ignorance that we have by reading the Prabhupada's books. Give them some books. Just say, look, just have it as like just for reading's sake. Just if you like reading, please read this. See what you think. Give me your opinion, and you can change. Human beings are very intelligent jivas. So this is the difference between us and the animals. We have this intelligence, and the perception can change very quickly. Just like that, perception can change. So yeah, give it time. Maybe just keep hinting to them about things, and sometimes
Give prashad.
give prashad.
Yes.
And the more fallen, the more mercy you get in this Kali Yuga. You will see Mataji as you will look around.
Sorry, say it again, Mataji.
The more fallen in the Kali Yuga, the more mercy you get. This is
Yes.
another
Yeah.
thing in this life.
So anyway,
Very
let's just thank you, Mataji. Let's do a couple of rounds now. Who wants to start today? Especially Mataji or Rukmani Mataji?
Shall I start?
Yeah, okay, Mataji, start.
Okay. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnavastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Picharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pashtata Visatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Gaura Bhakta Pinda